Hey, this is Dr. Debbie Reynolds, the Simply Southern Vet. So last week, I posted some things about some ingredients I was reading in dog chow. So I decided to call and ask because I had questions. What is meat meal? Is there meat in this food? Etc. So you can always get a good idea about a pet food company by calling them. And I videoed the call so you guys could see. This guy was so nice to me and so kind, but I feel really bad for him because he has very inadequate training to sound knowledgeable about the product at all, as you will see by the phone call. The problem lies within Purina hiring people that don't know the answers to any questions and are not equipped or trained to help people. I felt bad for this guy. However, he was the nicest guy in the world. I really appreciated his patience and his willingness to answer all my questions. However, as you will see, it didn't go so well. He was ill-equipped to handle even the most basic layperson questions. I wasn't asking any fancy veterinary questions, just regular questions.
Thanks for calling Purina.
Hi, I was calling. I had a question about the ingredients on the Purina Dog Chow. Well, one question I had is, what is the difference between byproduct and meal?
I see. One moment, let me try to gather that information here. Okay, may I please you on a brief hold? I'll just try to gather some information to, let's say, better understand what that is, and then I'll share that with you.
Okay, thank you.
So it's the difference between byproduct and meal?
Yes, and then I have another question, but well, so far, this engagement specialist seems really in the know. It was about 3 minutes in when we were placed on hold. We'll see how long it takes him to figure out the difference between byproduct and meal. I wonder why they call him engagement specialist. So talk to people. That's weird. I feel like every time I ask a question, I'm going to be placed on a hold. It could be wrong. We'll see. I mean, I could have already Googled this myself. I'm just seeing what they say, but I could have Googled it 10 times by now. Okay, one time by now.
Thank you very much for holding.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was able to gather some information on those, say, definitions. So, the byproduct, believe that is used in the product. I'll simply give you a brief description, which means ingredient that contains the identified meat, which could be chicken byproduct, and plus some of the, as you know, internal organs. And yes, you can mention meal.
Yes.
Like chicken meal or just meal?
Well, there was one ingredient that said meat meal, and I was wondering what meal is and what meat that is in the Purina Dog Chow.
Let me see what that is. Meat meal. Meat and bone meal?
Right.
Or chicken byproduct meal?
The one that just says meat, I'm wondering what kind of meat, like pork or beef or what kind of meat that is.
I see. Meat. Well, okay, it's kind of, okay, meat and bone meal is what I have here. And the definition for that is that meat and bone meal consists of meat, usually cattle or pork. So it's undefined in that state, with some accompanying bone as a good source of calcium and phosphorus. And yes, that is ground and partially dried, and well, it does not include any added blood, hair, horn, hoof, hide trimmings, stomach contents, manure, any of that, except in such amounts that may occur unavoidably after cleaning. So that would be a general understanding of what the combined meat and bone meal would be.
Okay. What I was kind of looking for was I wanted to make sure it had meat in the food, and I wasn't sure if like meat meal and meat byproduct, if that had like real muscle meat in there or not.
Well, okay, that's quite a good one. It does seem to be meat, well, usually cattle, pork, but let's say meat with accompanying bone. So that could be the muscle part.
Well, if it says meat meal, is that, what does the meal mean again? I remember you talking about the byproduct, but the meal part is what exactly?
Well, the meat meal refers to a process whereby the meat or grain is ground to partially dried. Well,
okay, so there's definitely meat in here then.
Yes, I'd say it would include meat, and well, the first ingredient is usually the ingredient that is most, I'd say, incorporated. So that would start with whole grain corn as, I'd say, the ingredient that is makes up majority of the food, and then the ingredient that is in there the most, and meat and bone meal.
Okay.
Apart from that, then corn gluten meal and some preservatives, beef fat preserve. So yes.
Okay. I'm just curious about this. When I read the egg and chicken flavor, why do you think, how do you do the flavoring? How do you get egg and chicken flavor? Is that artificial flavor, or do they... I guess I was suspicious that maybe there wasn't meat because it said meal and byproducts, but then it's adding like the chicken flavor instead of just like, doesn't the chicken flavor it? Why do you add chicken flavor? That's what I was thinking. Maybe there wasn't actually chicken in there. I was just making sure. And I've never heard of flavoring anything with egg. That was kind of different.
I don't know. It's a very vague example, or rather definition here for egg flavor. I'd say derived from real eggs. So I'm not certain if it's like mixture of eggs itself along with the chicken.
And then I have one last question. Like at the bottom where it has like yellow 5, red 40, blue 2, is that like food dyes?
Okay, that would be an artificial color. 3 artificial colors. The reason we do add the artificial colors inside the food would be to enhance eye appeal, I guess, and to distinguish between particles of the products. Well, differentiate and different kibbles.
Okay. All right.
Is there anything else you would like for me to assist you with?
No, I think that's it. Thank you.